Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to my Gears of War 4 Insane Difficulty Guide. This is Act 2, Chapter 3, Plan B. Starting off this engagement here in this dried up riverbed, I guess, we are going to be fighting some trackers. This is actually not too bad of a fight. This is actually one of my favorite chapters in the campaign, just because the beauty of it, the colors, just everything about it is really, really fun. And you get a good diversity of engagements in this mission, in this level as well. So you'll deal with the trackers, kind of push up a little bit, and then, oh, there's one guy left here. Actually, a couple guys left here. Oh boy, there's a lot of them. But after this, we're going to fight our way through this little riverbed, get into some tricky-ish engagements. I want to call them tricky. I would call them really fair, but you don't get a checkpoint after one of them, which kind of makes it a little bit difficult. Well, I guess unforgiving would be the better term there. However, once you see that condor come in, it's going to drop some DBs your way. Now, what I would recommend you doing is running all the way back to where I'm eventually going to go, because you see this guy coming up right here to the right here. Look at this guy. Watch this guy. He is sprinting my way. And do you know what he has? He has a rocket launcher. I am out of there. Peace out. I do not want to deal with that. So run all the way back here. I would recommend running all the way back here at the beginning of that little section where the condor drops off the pods, and just spraying this guy down as much as possible. Make sure he dies. He needs to be taken out. Alright, once he's taken out, you can kind of play this just like you play Gears of War. It's really fun. It's really linear. It's really cover-based. They're all slowly approaching you. You can even pick up that rocket launcher, kind of fire back on them if you would like. But really standard, pretty easy. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 guys came with them, you saw there. So take care of these guys and you're good to push up. Now, we're going to face a helicopter, one of those Kestrels. So what you could do is something that I didn't do here, and that is go pick up that rocket launcher that the DR1 dropped, that RL Salvo. You could pick that up and kill this Kestrel. However, once you get the checkpoint here, you're going to want to head on back to behind cover. It's going to shoot the way in front of you just to let you know it's there, but I like to go right to this corner right here, and this is a pretty standard fight. I like to take this cover and just aim for those engines right there. Now this is one of the few times in this act that I actually died, and man oh man, it was so punishing because this fight is so long, and it brings up an interesting point that I want to make here about, and the helicopter will come right around here. I don't think it can shoot you, though I will dodge out of the way in some cases just to play it safe because I don't want to die. This brings up a good point about, I guess, some enemies here. In Gears of War, enemies generally have a good feel of when enemies are going to die. You have a good feeling, like they're a little bit bullet spongy, but for the most part, you can get to the point where it's like, okay, that guy's definitely really low on health now. This Kestrel is really, I'm not going to say unbalanced, but it's just kind of boring. It's just kind of like, okay, here's parts of the things that we got to shoot. Okay, we're taking cover. Okay, it's not shooting, I'm going to shoot him now. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Of course, this is Gears of War, and, you know, taking cover, being patient, and finding the right opportunity to shoot your enemy is what Gears of War is about. That's what the gameplay is about, and how the enemies and the weapons change that up is really interesting in the Gears of War universe. However, with this enemy, and maybe 1 or 2 more boss enemies, there is just some annoying factor about it to where there's no interesting dynamic, there's no interesting feature about it. It's just shoot it until it dies, and it's going to take probably 2 or 3 minutes in order for it to die. And as you've seen right here, it takes a long time. And maybe if I went back and I got that RL Salvo, that rocket launcher, I might be able to speed up this process a little bit. But there you go, that's a full Retro Lancer, full of ammo right there, and man, this thing is still moving. But one of the things that you'll hopefully learn about this section is that not just this boss enemy, but enemies in general in Gears of War, they will start shooting at you, and then they will move away from you. If you're in cover and they're not shooting you, generally speaking, they will move on to a teammate, which is really, really useful to know, especially with this fight and some upcoming fights as well, that they'll start shooting either at you or your teammates, and then they will switch targets. And when you switch targets, or when they switch targets, you can actually take that opportunity and pop out of cover and take care of them. And there you go, that's the second piece of dialogue that you got about it taking damage, and it's still not dead yet. When those rockets come by, I do need to mention, when those rockets come by, take cover far in that corner. You do not want to risk that. Yes, the rockets are generally not an issue for the most part, but you don't want to be at this stage and die like I did. This is a part that's easy. It's just a test of patience. It's a test of stamina. How long can you go with this thing, man? And it takes so long. Luckily, there's a lot of ammo in the riverbed remaining here. But man, oh man, this fight took ages, and we still got like a little, like 30 seconds, I think, for this fight. It's just ridiculous. And oh yeah, I targeted it. I think that might help. I'm not sure if it will, but I don't know if your teammates are more likely to hit their target if you put that little target indicator on. I didn't really notice a difference, but that's just me. So there you go. Pick up your ammo, and we will push forward. Now onto the more interesting and the more fun things about this mission. This is actually, like I said before, one of my favorite missions because we have an interesting mini boss fight here at the beginning. We have an interesting little engagement, and then we're going to move up to another interesting engagement, and this chapter is going to end with a really fun little, I don't know what you want to call it, like set piece, I guess. I don't know. But as you walk through here, just take a step back and appreciate the environment. Look at the greens, look at the reds of the trees and the yellows, and oh, it's just beautiful. I love it. And we are heading our way to the barn, and right here we're going to come up to a decision we're going to have to make as these beautiful greens go away and get dusted away in a kind of tannish brown here. So the decision I make is between the low ground and the high ground, the right or the left. I pick the left, the road. Now, one of the best things you can do is if you see that DR1, that heavy right there, wait for him to push up. You see him over the truck there. I don't wait. Donuts, you need to wait so that when you shoot those hay bales, they can actually kill that guy. You know, this is me wasting bullets because that guy could have been dead if I was patient a little bit and I let him walk in front of those hay bales and then I shot it, and he should be taken care of. But he's really not all that difficult to take care of. He should be up here. Once he explodes, I turn away, roll away. There you go. Now you're going to be met with a sniper up here to our right a little bit. So be careful as you push up here. He really isn't that big of an issue, but you don't want to be caught off guard. So take cover here, take out your close range Lancer, and there is that sniper. Meanwhile, your enemies your teammates on the other side of the riverbed are dealing with a guardian or a sentinel. So then you'll shoot this little gate right here. Your teammates will get a couple more enemies kind of drop down, so you'll shoot those red barrels to kind of help them out and hopefully take care of most of those enemies. Very nice. Got a couple more guys right there, so you'll help them out. They have to clear their section before we can progress, unfortunately. This would be a really cool area to play on co-op. There's lots of moments in this game that really strike me as co-op friendly, and I wish I played it as co-op once before, but so Condor is going to drop some more DBs here. Your teammates are going to shoot this barn open. Actually, I don't think you can do it. I think you have to wait for your enemies, but once it's open, just shoot those barrels. They will explode, and take cover because I believe they can kill you, and then shoot those barrels down there, and that should be good enough for that first section. Very good. And your teammates might need a little help here with some with some heavies. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a little bit of guys here. They're usually pretty distracted, so I've never had an issue taking them out. However, one thing I do want to say is that throughout this entire little section here with this wind flare, you don't get a single checkpoint until you beat the last sentinel, the last guardian at the very end. So if you die at any point, you get sent all the way back to where you made your decision, which, and look at that wheelbarrow, really delayed, it hit me, must have been glitched out. But that makes sense, the fact that there's no checkpoint, because if you get so stuck here, the coalition, the developers, didn't want you to be stuck with the decision you made. So from the decision you made to where you meet back up again, you won't get a checkpoint. And look at that, my teammates for some reason were having an issue taking care of that guy. It was weird. So usually they don't have a problem, but meh, at that point you need to lend them a helping hand. And as you saw, that group of DBs went on, those shepherds went on to run down here, and they're all taking cover right there. And this is a simple game of whack-a-mole, a little bit of patience. What I should have done, just to increase the speed of this, I should have taken the, what is it, the E-bar to my right here. There's a sniper rifle to my right here, and should have taken them out. Also, something I guess I probably could have done is, if you look to my left here, I don't think you say JD's face, I don't think I'm going to get a good look at it until later. There are some debris to my left that you can shoot right there in that left corner across that bridge. I decided to save it because I saw on my first Insane playthrough, and I thought, man, I wonder if there's a strategy here to where you can shoot the debris and take care of the guardian that we're gonna get here. But I do that in this game, I do that in this playthrough, and it doesn't kill the guardian. I'm not sure if it's just bad positioning, I'm not sure if you can kill the guardian with that debris, or if you can't and you should just use it on these guys right here. So I'm going to leave it up to you to experiment with, play with it a little bit. You'll see exactly what I do with it. But if it turns out you can't kill the sentinel or the guardian with those debris to my left here, then just use them on those guys and take care of this section a little bit faster. So that's it. Now the strategy here, you're going to have to be quick. I like to turn around and trigger this guy as soon as you hear that sprint all the way back, because there was no chance you're gonna survive in that little area. So run all the way back here and just take cover right where we have been right here. Now all four of you guys are gonna be focused on this. See, look, that's the cover I was talking about. I was thinking maybe, and it looked like it was almost a direct hit. I don't know where that debris went. I don't know if it can kill that guy. I really hope it can. I really hope that's a nice little strategy that I found to take care of that guy. But if not, you can use it to take care of some of those shepherds beforehand. But anyway, all of your teammates are going to be focusing fire on this guy now, so just target him, use your little tracker to kind of make your teammates target him, and man, I am just getting screwed over this chapter by those active reloads. The Retro Lancer doesn't have as much ammo as I thought, so I keep missing my times because I have that muscle memory down, but the game reloads for me. I don't know why they have, it's Gears of War 4, they should have a button that stops that automatic reload animation. You see, I get it on my own, but there you go. That was quite an easy sentinel to take out. Now, the biggest help I can give you right now, the biggest tip is with this storm wall, it is the exact same pattern every time. I did some testing on this section. The lightning is the exact same pattern every single time. Trial and error. Do your best to make it through this because it's completely consistent. It's completely 100% fair. I'm going to show you my little strategy that works consistently for me is to go all the way to the right here. In between this box, you're going to let these two pass you. Then you kind of want to make your way past these two pieces of cover. And then these two guys are going to shoot out at you. Hug the right section and you should make it past those. Jump over this, stick to your right, go as to the right as you possibly can. And then there you go, you've done it. Good job. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this guide has helped you out. Until the next absolutely beautiful Gears of War morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.